This film makes you uncomfortable. Good. It's supposed to. Don't be turned off by the trailers. It's not as tasteless and out of touch as the trailers make it seem. It doesn't glorify Hitler or Nazis at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It surprised me, actually, by how well told this movie was. It's about breaking out of the lies you're told by those in power and waking up and seeing the truth the other side. The main character is a little boy who idolizes Hitler because that's all he hears day in and day out because he's living in Nazi Germany. So, of course, everyone around him is saying how Hitler is like the greatest person ever, and Heil Hitler this, Heil Hitler that. And then when he sees the Nazis for what they really are, his whole worldview is shook. And, you know, he meets this little Jewish girl that his mom is hiding because his mom is sort of like kind of like an anti-Nazi advocate, but she's doing it in secret because she knows how dangerous that is. And she's hiding this little Jewish girl in her house and not telling her son, and her son, who loves Hitler so much that it's his imaginary friend who is played by Taika Waititi, and he's actually pretty funny in this movie, to be honest. It is kind of, he meets the little Jewish girl, and at first he's like freaking out because he's been told like all these just ridiculous things about Jews, right? Like, oh, the Jews have horns, the Jews have fangs, the Jews have monsters, right? Like all these terrible things that aren't true. They're absolutely ridiculous by the public education system that's run by Nazi Germany. And as he starts to get to know this little Jewish girl a little bit more, he's like, they're completely wrong about this. I'm being lied to. And the film sort of picks up from there. And it was very, very well done. I thought it was a beautiful story about forgiveness and love and second chances. It was an amazing film. And it basically tells you don't believe everything that those in power are telling you. It's not necessarily true, and there's always going to be those who are targets for scapegoating. And I thought it was a very powerful movie. I was really mad that Scarlett Johansson did not get an Oscar for this movie because she is just fantastic. Besides the little kid, she's probably the stand-up performance of the movie. And Taika Waititi as well, like I said, he's great. This is kind of like the American version of the Italian film Life is Beautiful, which I highly recommend that as well. It's very similar to that. Life is Beautiful is basically another sort of Nazi Germany film, but it's also kind of a farce, though it is a little dark. It's sort of a dark farce, sort of a dark satire. But if you enjoyed Jojo Rabbit, I recommend checking that one out too. It kind of reminded me of that. We watched that in film class a few years ago when I was in college, and I enjoyed the movie for what it was too. I just thought it was amazing, and it was just very well done film. A+, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 stars for me. Jojo Rabbit was absolutely fantastic.